Alright everyone, let's break down what's really going on with Hysilens in version 3.5 beta, especially now that the dust has settled, and beta testers have had their say. Hysilens is the new 5-star Physical Nihility character, and for anyone who's been trying to make damage over time teams work, especially after Kafka's buffs in 3.4, her arrival is a big deal. The community reaction has been a mix of excitement and frustration, and it's easy to see why. Hysilens isn't just another DPS you slot in for a bit of extra damage. For a lot of players, she's the missing piece that finally lets Kafka and Black Swan operate as a truly competitive duo. Her kit is all about reliable physical DOT and strong debuffs, smoothing out the inconsistencies that have plagued DOT teams for a while. But there's some problems, and in today's video, we're gonna talk about them and how it affect Hysilens. If you're planning to pull in the current banner, let me introduce you to Loot Bar. It's a fast, secure, and super reliable website to top up your Oneiric shards. On Loot Bar, you'll find prices with up to 25% discounts compared to in-game prices in a super simple process. Just select the amount of Oneiric shards you need, enter your UID and server, and complete the purchase. In addition to Honkai Star Rail, on Loot Bar, you can also top up other games like Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, and Wuthering Waves. Click the link in the description and register to get an additional 10% discount coupon that can be combined with all other discounts. But not everything is perfect. Many players were hoping Hysilens would be the support DOT teams have desperately needed. A character who could amplify Kafka and Black Swan, provide energy, or offer team-wide buffs. Instead, what we got is another DPS who takes center stage rather than boosting her teammates. She's powerful, sure, but she doesn't address the core issues like energy dependency, rigid team building, or the lack of flexible supports. Her arrival gives DOT teams enough of a boost to stay viable for a while, but she's not the ultimate solution. Performance-wise, Hysilens is steady and reliable, but she's not breaking records or putting up the kind of numbers you see from top-tier DPS like Aglia or Mighty. What she does offer is consistency. She can comfortably take a DOT team through Memory of Chaos and deliver solid, clear times, excelling at her role and synergizing beautifully with the right partners. There's a trade-off, though. Hysilens is heavily dependent on Kafka and Black Swan to shine. If you're running DOT, your team is basically set. Kafka, Black Swan, and Hysilens, with almost no room for experimentation. She doesn't bring extra buffs or flexibility, just more DOT damage. For players who like a locked-in comp, she's perfect. But if you wanted more options or versatility, she doesn't open up new doors. Interestingly, her high direct damage and smooth rotation have led some players to consider benching Black Swan, especially if their Black Swan is only at Eidolon 0. But if you've invested in Black Swan's Eidolons, she's still worth running. This shift has at least brought some internal competition to DOT teams, which used to be locked into the same trio every time. If you're not already invested in DOT, Hysilens won't do much for you. She's not plug-and-play, and she doesn't support non-DOT teammates. Unless you're fully committed to the DOT playstyle, she's more of a luxury than a necessity. For new players or those who skipped Kafka and focused on other team types, Hysilens won't add much value. A major frustration among testers is that the core problems with DOT teams still aren't solved. What people really want is a harmony unit, a sparkle for DOT teams, someone who can boost status application, lower enemy resistance, or chain dots more efficiently. Hysilens doesn't fill that role. She's a side grade, not a game changer. Until a true support arrives, DOT teams will stay in that almost there, but not quite best zone. On the upside, Hysilens is extremely polished. Most testers only wish she hit a bit harder, but even as she is, she stands out as one of the cleanest DPS releases in recent memory. So if you're a dedicated DOT player with Kafka and Black Swan already in your roster, Hysilens is practically a must-have. She completes the team and brings a level of consistency that's been missing. But if you're not invested in DOT, she's an easy skip. Her power is locked to that archetype and doesn't really break out of it. That's where things stand. Hysilens is a focused, reliable DPS who brings stability but not revolution. If you're holding out for a true DOT buffer, you'll have to wait. But for those deep into the Kafka and Black Swan playstyle, skipping Hysilens might just leave your team feeling unfinished. So, what do you think about Hysilens' kit? Are you gonna pull for her? Let me know in the comments. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.